We attended our first annual pass holder night at Disneyland Paris, and here are our thoughts. Disneyland recently held an annual pass holder event called Back to the 2000s. As the name suggests, this party was all about Disney and the noughties, with characters and shows to reflect this. To buy a ticket to this event, which was €59, you had to be an annual pass holder or have a friend who could buy one for you. You could enter the park using your ticket from 6 p.m. Entering the park was easy by scanning your ticket to the event, but don't make the mistake we made though, where we booked a park reservation also in case we needed it, but as we hadn't used our Disneyland passes, we got an email telling us off for not using it. You then collected your time capsule, which contained your programme for the night, some stickers, and a little souvenir book. The programme contained everything you needed to know about the event, from where there'd be characters, what times the shows were, and what attractions would be open. These capsules are quite bulky though, and we did see lots of people having to carry them around, but they were the exact perfect size to fit inside the Loungefly. Now, our first impressions of this party were, let's say, not great. It began when we headed to the pre-party in Frontierland near Cowboy Cookout. We joined a massive queue of people of what we assumed was for access to the pre-party, and were in line for nearly an hour through Frontierland. Once you got through to the Cowboy Cookout area, you stayed in the line, but there were characters like Pluto, Clarice, Minnie, Goofy, but there was no real opportunity to have photos with them as they were just walking up and down the lines. It wasn't until we got towards the end of the line we learned exactly what we'd been queuing up for. It was a magic photo shop where you could have a photo where they'd add in Lightning McQueen. Safe to say, Adam and I, along with many others, were really disappointed with the lack of communication from all the staff to actually advise what we were in the queue for. There was no pre-party atmosphere here at all. While they were playing some Disney movie songs from the 2000s, the feeling here was pretty flat. We actually decided we weren't that bothered with the photo, so decided that even if the event was going to be a bust, we can go and ride a few rides. We managed to ride Big Thunder twice with a 10-minute wait while the fireworks were on for the usual day guests. And after the park closed and the day guests were filtering out, we managed to ride Pirates, Buzz Lightyear and Space Mountain. At this point it was about 10 p.m. and we were really thinking, what else could we possibly do as Fantasyland was closed and we'd already been on all the rides. So we headed to the shops, and if you ever want to go shopping when it's quiet, this is the perfect time. We nipped into Disney Clothiers and couldn't believe we were the only people in the shop. We had a really good chance to look around. Whilst in the shop, we heard the music kick off and we headed into Main Street to see the fantastic medley in Central Plaza. We really enjoyed this with the old parade and show songs, including the songs from the 15th anniversary, and the fireworks and the countdown projection on the castle was a great touch. Once this finished, the party really kicked into gear. A live DJ was based at the entrance of the castle, playing loads of songs from the 2000s, from Madonna to Kylie, Beyonce, and a few French songs that we didn't know, but they seemed to go down really well with the French guests. There was dancers who took to the stage who had so much energy, dancing non-stop for hours, and some characters came out to join the party too. Huey, Dewey and Louie being my favourites of the night, and also Scrooge McDuck. We then went to check out the Disney Channel dance party featuring the Wildcats in Discoveryland near Starport. This was such great fun with a bunch of millennials singing songs from Disney Channel films like High School Musical, Camp Rock and the Cheetah Girls. The only downside was we couldn't really see the dancers, and I think it would have made a bit more sense for this to be held in the Discoveryland Theatre, so everyone could have had a chance to see, but we still had great fun. Speaking of the Discoveryland Theatre, inside here we had multiple meet and greets. On the stage we had Lilo and Stitch characters, very rarely seen in the parks, and near the middle entrance you could find the Monsters Inc. characters. There were multiple rare characters at this event. We enjoyed a walk around the park, empty without all the usual crowds, and came across characters from Meet the Robinsons, Emperor's New Groove, Up, The Incredibles and Ratatouille to name a few. We aren't really character people and the queues were huge for these, but I know there are some Disney fans who love to try and tick rare characters off their lists, and this event was a great chance to do so. There was also a magic shot in the pop-up surprise building. As this was our first ever pass holder event, we weren't really sure what to expect. And after attending, do we think it was worth it? Yes, we definitely do. But don't expect the party to start at 7:30. The 3 hours between that and the party actually kicking off was really confusing for us, and the cast members were not exactly helpful in explaining what was going on. And I would definitely skip the pre-party and make the most of the short wait times in the rides around the park. Unfortunately, we can't make the next passholder event Christmas night, but would definitely recommend going if you have the chance. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for being our guest, and until next time, just keep swimming.